Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League, showcasing another very powerful team featuring Jellicent. Jellicent on the safe swap on this team. Guys, I basically got sick and tired of seeing all the Charizards in the Ultra League, which is what prompted this team right here. Jelly on the safe swap, Tapu Fini in the back. There are a few better answers to a Charizard than Tapu Fini, as well as Jellicent, but Tapu Fini is about as good as it gets. And also on the lead to handle the grass types, particularly Virizion, Nidoqueen. I had to dust off my Ultra League Nidoqueen to protect our two water types in the back from Virizion. It also has pretty neutral play across the board. Yes, I set out to cull the Charizard usage. It is at an all-time high. It's insane. And here we go, Deoxys. This is okay. All we have to do is not get hit by the first Psycho Boost. The question is, are they going to bait with resisted damage? So we're going to look to get off of this Poison Fang here. And what I was finding is that they will go to the back-to-back and throw at least one. So we will shield the first one. It is the fully boosted Psycho Boost, and they swap out to clear the debuff, so they banked a Psycho Boost for later, making a play into a Shadow Snorlax. So this team is looking awfully familiar. I'm reading that there is another normal type in the back or a dark type coming in the form of Guzzlord. Either way, we're going to be just fine. Even though we are down a shield, we went straight for that Earth Power. It does more raw damage, obviously, and we got the defense drop. So we win this in the zeros, and now we still get to control the alignment. So if I'm accurate on my team read, what we can do is stay in here, let this Deoxys take us out. We can align our Ghost-type Jellicent onto this Psychic-type Deoxys and our Fairy-type on that Dragon-type that we are predicting will be in the back. And there it is. It is over. Checkmate on the Guzzlord. So yeah, this team handles that team no problem as well. Good game, well played. The team worked out quite well. It was quite effective in the Ultra League. And here we go. What's not so effective is Nidoqueen on a Giratina lead. Holy smokes. Okay. So what we have to do is employ a team effort. I'm going to look to chip this. We're not going to stay in here. This is not a good matchup for us. So we're going to let this what should be a Dragon Claw go, and then we're going to look to make the play into Jellicent, because by getting that chip damage, it is essentially within Shadow Ball range. These hexes 100% put it in Shadow Claw range. Now, we're going to let all this go. A Giratina lead could have a number of things in the bag, so it's kind of hard to team read this lead here. What I do know is they do have to have some sort of protection, at least from Charm and Dark. It's a Cresselia, so there's the Dark coverage there. Gonna go for this Shadow Ball because they let us load up on energy. They do tank that, and they will reach a Grass Knot just as we are getting to the Shadow Ball, and they do elect to throw it immediately, not wanting to get hit by another Shadow Ball. I don't blame them. That takes us out. And now we can bring in our Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen does quite well up against Cresselia, provided it's not running Future Sight, which most Cresselias are not. It does not look like this one is, as they are forced to go for the neutral Grass Knot. Nidoqueen tanks that quite well. Gonna go for the Earth Power on what should be a CMP tie. We say bye. Whoa, not quite. Not quite. I fully expect. We were gonna say bye-bye. Holy smokes, did not expect them to shield that. But they want to control the alignment, so now I am putting the hope and faith into Tapu Fini to perhaps sweep this game. Kind of tough to tell what the third could be. It's a Charizard! Holy smokes, they've got the Charizard in the back. Target acquired. This is why we tucked our Tapu Fini in the back, because most Charizard trainers love to hide their Zard in the back so that in these in-game scenarios it can thrive with shields. But there is nothing this Charizard can do. It's hard to believe a Blast Burn would be the hardest hitting move left in the game, but I do believe that is the case here. Gonna throw the Surf in between their wing attacks so that they cannot escape this here, and it's getting a little sweaty here. We are still relatively healthy. This Giratina is certainly not within Surf range. What we have to do is be careful of a potential catch. That is in play. They are running Ancient Power. Doesn't do a whole lot. Now we're getting quite low. There's the catch attempt there. Lost track of the Cresselia's energy. That looked like a CFP tie. I'm not sure, but we are saying bye-bye nonetheless. And now, because of our overfarm, we will make it to this Moonblast. I still don't quite think that it is within Surf range. Doesn't matter. We're saying bye-bye to the Giratina as well. Holy smokes, how about Tapu Fini coming in clutch to sweep the game? That was insane. Good game, well played to them. This team was putting in the work. It was a lot of fun as well. It's been a long time since I've run Nidoqueen. It's so much fun when you get met with an Ampharos lead. They make a play into a Dragon Breath Giratina, so we load up on a little bit of energy, and we bring in our Tapu Fini. We had just the answer to a Dragon Breath user lurking in the back here, and we get to avoid that Ampharos, which is even better. So because we are double resisting this fast move pressure, it's doing no damage. We can afford to overfarm by quite a bit. I don't anticipate that they would shield this Giratina. It's just a waste of a shield if they do that. So we're going to throw the Moonblast here. It just about takes out the Giratina. One Water Gun does the trick. And they don't want to come in onto a loaded Tapu Fini with their Ampharos, so they bring in their Shadow Wall Rain. That is beautiful. Revealing the third. We now know exactly how to align our Pokemon. And we grab a shield. Holy smokes. Tapu Fini putting in the work in the Ultra League. You absolutely love to see it. They farm to the back-to-back and going to throw the Icicle Spear. Although resisted, that's definitely enough to get the job done for them. Yeah, we had the alignment. It is over. It looks like they are tired of seeing Charizard as well with that team. Ours just had the right answers for theirs. Good game, well played to them. I would definitely say this team is definitely worth giving a try. It was really putting in the work. And here we go. Alolan Muk lead. Pretty positive for us. They can only do neutral damage with their Dark Pulse, and they look to catch onto a Jellicent of their own. That's a brilliant catch by them, but this is perfect. This gives us just the right amount of chip damage to allow us to flip switch here in this mirror matchup here on the mid game. I'm gonna let this go. We do tank a Shadow Ball, no problem. They bait us with a Bubble Beam. Holy smokes. Oh, I don't see very much use for Bubble Beam these days. We're firing back with a Shadow Ball, doing big damage and getting a Hex out of the deal. That went about as well as it could possibly have gone. We are debuffed, but we have the alignment. We don't want this Muk anywhere near our Tapu Fini. Not the best matchup when they are running Poison Jab, of course. I'm going to fire off the Surf. We left super healthy. They're going to have to throw a move here. And they do decide to throw the move here, not wanting to take too much more damage. Not sure what else could be lurking in the back. We do survive that Dark Pulse. And they've got a Scrafty. So it was ABA Dark. Very interesting team comp here. Just going to trip with a Surf and align Tapu Fini onto the Scrafty. There are a few better answers to a Scrafty than Tapu Fini. I think a Charmer probably takes the cake there, but this is the next best thing here. We're going straight Surf here because we don't want to leave this matchup too healthy, because we don't want to give that Alolan Muk any more farm than necessary. And we also would like to leave this matchup with some energy here, so just elect to go straight Surf in this matchup, and we will throw right about here. I'm not anticipating a shield. There is no hope for the Scrafty up against Tapu Fini. They do let it go, putting the hope and faith into their Muk. It's getting quite low, down below 50% health. I do imagine this Surf here will grab the shield, and then we can bring in our Nidoqueen with a shield advantage here. Oh, they are putting up a fight here, guys. Holy smokes. They are really looking to go down with the ship, but that is okay. They have the right to do that. We did tank the first one just in case they wanted to bait, but a lot of trainers they're getting really good as the seasons progress. They now throw the big move first, and then they look to bait with the second, anticipating that most trainers will not shield the first one, knowing that they can tank it. So might be worth shielding that first move these days in Pokemon Go Battle League. So now we're forced to shield up Acid Sprays at this point, but we're still in the driver's seat here. They shielded up our Poison Fang bait, and we don't even need the Earth Power. We're saying bye-bye to the Alolan Muk, courtesy of our Nidoqueen. Coming in clutch, closing strong. We 3-ball flex on our opponent to win the game. Good game, well played to them. The beauty of this team is fighters and pseudo-fighters also have very few places to go with this team. And here we go, Nidoqueen mirror matchup. Not a big fan of mirror matchups. We've got some decent answers to Nidoqueen in the back. We go right into Jellicent. It is the safe swap, and we draw out an Obstagoon. So I was expecting this anyways. So we are well ahead on energy. They do bank quite a bit of energy. And at this point, I'm thinking this is a Nidoqueen double dark line. That's a pretty safe team read. Nidoqueen lead, Obstagoon counter swap. There should be a Scrafty in the back, perhaps an Umbreon. But some other dark type lurking in the back as well. And if that is the case, Tapu Fini's looking quite strong to close out this game here. And they are not throwing with proper timing. They are throwing just as they get to their Night Slash, which is not good. And you guys are going to see why throwing with proper timing is best. Because now, because they let us get through 2 free hexes, we are able to force a shield out of this Obstagoon, guys. Got to be throwing with proper timing when it matters most. There are some occasions where you can abandon it, but most often than not, you need to be throwing with proper timing. They would not have had to have given up a shield there. And they aggressively pivot back into the Nidoqueen. We tank this and go back into our own Nidoqueen, reading that there should be a Scrafty in the back. And we are up a shield here. So I don't want to get hit by a Earth Power, so we will shield. We can afford to. They bait us. That is unfortunate. Going for the Earth Power, they are down a shield. I'm going to see what they want to do. They let it go. Beautiful. We will take that. They know that they tank it. It's not a shadow. I'm still thinking this is a safe shield because that Scrafty doesn't have anywhere to go. A healthy Nidoqueen able to get off those debuffs would be quite nice. And they come back in with the Obstagoon to absorb some damage here. Gonna just take it out. We are double debuffed at the end of the day. And there is not a Scrafty in the back. It's a Jellicent. So they had a very similar team to ours. Gonna try our best, but it's not looking good. Jellicent up a shield does quite well up against the remainder of our team, unfortunately. We do successfully catch that Surf, but Nidoqueen can't do a whole lot to Jellicent, especially now that it has access to Surf, which hits quite a bit harder than Bubble Beam. They take us out with the Shadow Ball. Gonna try and bait here, but it doesn't matter. They don't have to shield this because they live in Earth Power. They no shield, and we top left. Yeah. You know, it wasn't a bad team read. They just happened to not have what they generally have in the back. Good game, well played to them. All but pushed out of the meta, Jellicent has been a very strong safe swap in the Ultra League. Here we go, Cresselia. Very somewhat good for us, provided, of course, that they are not running Future Sight. Gonna go for the Earth Power here. They played to the CMP tie. They're not at a Future Sight, which means that they're likely not running it, but we do still shield because they do outpace us to these Grass Knots, and you definitely need an Earth Power plus 2 Poison Fangs, so we knew that we had to shield 1. In this, because it is running Legacy Grass Knot, it's not great for our 2 water types in the back, so gonna go for this Poison Fang here. We do tank another Grass Knot, no problem. Nidoqueen as an XL in the Ultra League, quite bulky, and we're going to throw this next Poison Fang on the CMP tie. They definitely should not shield this, and they don't. So we get out pretty healthy, and they've got a Swampert in the bag. So we pivot into our Jellicent safe swap. Jellicent, very solid answer to Swampert. Not necessarily when you're down a shield, but we can still put in work here. They go straight for that EQ. We tank that like a champ. There's a lot of bulk on this team here, and we're going to look to bait with a Surf here. And they shield, so that is sort of a clue that there may be a certain flying fire type that looks an awful lot like a dragon, but isn't necessarily a dragon, if you know what I mean. They're going to look to take us out with a Hydro Cannon here. That's okay. What we can do, the Swampert's definitely too healthy for Nidoqueen. We're going to come in with Tapu Fini and look to get ahead on energy. Cresselia has a Swampert in the back that protects it from the Steel type, and Charizard would certainly add an extra layer of Steel type coverage. And I think they tried to catch a Surf here. There it is, hiding in the back as per usual. Charizard right on cue. I think they tried catching a Surf, but we were just going to farm that thing down, and now we're just throwing Nidoqueen in here just to get in as much damage as possible. They are committing to an aggressive farm down, and it's going to cost them a shield, and in the process, we don't make it to another move, but we certainly tank a Blast Burn, no problem. And we hit our move, triggering the CMP tie, which has effectively ended the game because that Swampert's hanging on by a thread, and it does not have a move. It does have a move, but not the move they need to close this game out. We get to this, and we're saying bye-bye to the Zard, and they need an EQ. They don't have it. They go down to the Water Gun. Oh, you love to see Zard in the back when you run this team. It's a thing of beauty. Good game well played to them. Oh, taking out those Charizard teams is so satisfying. What's also very satisfying is a lead like this. My goodness, you don't get much better. Charm A9. We bank some energy and make the play into Tapu Fini. I think either one is fine. I think Jellicent's slightly better here, especially with our Raid IV Tapu Fini. Yeah, Jellicent has the bulk to hang in here a little bit better, but it's okay. Gonna go for this Surf here on the Swampert. They do let that go as they do survive it. And we're gonna make a questionable call and shield up the second EQ to come out here healthy. They're not making it to another EQ in time. Well, they could, but they elect to go for the Hydro Cannon here. And of course, that does very little damage. That's resisted, and we get this full farm down here. They led Charm A9, came in with Swampert. Not sure what else they could have in the back. Swampert is the fire coverage. Could be a number of things. Not really sure at this point, but we are loaded on energy. That is something I do know. And going for another Surf. We did grab the shield. They shielded out of caution on that first one, and we will make it to a second one. I don't know if they were off on their counts. It's tough when you've got a 3-turn move up against a 1-turn. You can pull it off with a 2-turn pretty easily if you know what you're doing, but yeah, that was tough for them. We do hit that Jelly with a Moonblast, though. Gonna make a play into our own Jelly. We tank that Shadow Ball like a champ here, and gonna fire off our Shadow Ball here. Yeah, this should definitely get the shield from them. Jellicent is kind of where their win condition lies at this point, but the damage has been done. This thing is quite low. Surf will not cut it for them, and they're playing to their win con, going for the Shadow Ball. They do have residual energy, but so do we, if you recall, guys. We banked a bunch of energy. We are just a few poison jabs off from the Earth Power. Holy smokes, Nidoqueen coming in clutch. We're saying bye-bye to the Jelly, and it is all over. We anticipated a blind throw, but they exercise brilliant patience. Valiant effort by them, but it's not going to help them. They're not making it to another Weather Ball in time. We get to this Poison Fang, and it is nighty-night, sleep tight for this Charmer here. We say bye-bye to the A9 Nidoqueen, and putting the team on its back, coming in clutch yet again. That's going to be a good game, well played. This Jellicent team definitely gets my seal of approval. It was putting in the work, and here we go. Jellicent, speaking of, we've got one here on the lead. This is not a good lead for us. A bit of a core breaker, as it does quite well up against our back line as well. Tried to catch a Surf here, but they just kept on tapping that screen. A lot of Jellicent trainers love to overfarm and do that, or they could have been anticipating a catch themselves. And they make a play into a Tapu Fini of their own after letting us get the energy lead here. Gonna go for the Moonblast. We are well ahead on energy. They do let that go as they do tank it quite comfortably. They're gonna need a Moonblast to get this done. It's not, Surf is not gonna cut it here. And they're gonna have a hard time farming down as well before we get to a Surf of our own. Oh my goodness, Tapu Fini can be so clutch at times. I don't think this will quite KO. It does not, but one water gun does the trick, and Tapu Fini has flip switch. You love to see it. The bad part is that this Jellicent gets even more farm. They were farming for days on the lead, and they get even more farm now. Not gonna lie, at this point, I've lost track of where this Jellicent is. But I do know that we have an Earth Power. I've not lost track of that. So we're going to throw this, put the pressure on, and then make the play into our own jelly here. Not sure what else they could have lurking in the back. They've had 2 water types, ABA. I know grass is almost non-existent in this meta, but it's still a possibility. Like I said, we do shield this. I lost track of the energy, and it is just a Surf at this point. It could be tricky to keep track of Jelly's energy because, 1, they love to overfarm, and 2, the cycles are very awkward for a Jellicent. Very difficult to keep track if there's a lot of aggressive swapping, if you will. But they catch our Surf onto a Virizion, and they are well past a Leaf Blade. So I suspect this is not a Leaf Blade Virizion here. They do have the Stone Edge. That's enough to KO, but this is beautiful for us. If they had Leaf Blade, they would have thrown it. So now we can overfarm and get a healthy farm of our own here. They're not running Leaf Blade. I think Leaf Blade's the way to go these days, but if you have it in the back, you definitely, Stone Edge can come in handy as a safe swap. But that is all beside the point. The Virizion's gone. Gonna bait with a Poison Fang, and they make a Savage call. Holy smokes. That's a very foolish call for them to make, but it's all right. We're not in Surf range. It doesn't matter. We're going for another Poison Jab. That's all we need at this point. They can call all the baits they want. It's not going to help them. They're gone with their mindless tapping of the Jellicent. So for some reason, that Jellicent trainer was really annoying me. But it's gone. Good game well played to them, by the way. And that is the team, guys. So I was on a mission to cull the Charizard usage. I got so sick and tired of seeing Charizard nonstop. And we saw our fair share with this team, which was aimed at taking care of Charizard. We've got double water in the back. With something like that, you really need to protect them from a Leaf Blade Virizion, and there are a few better answers to a Leaf Blade Virizion than Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen also covers Registeel, which both of our Pokemon in the back are also very weak to. So a lot of very good synergy with this team. Performed beautifully overall. I was quite pleased with it. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.